Warning, cheaters may contain adult themes and strong language. Parents are cautioned that this program may not be suitable for children. Coming up on this episode of Cheaters.
And I know you don't want to see that. She's with this gentleman one more time.
Go with me.
Whoa. Hey, David. Sue, Can you explain what you're doing with Lester?
No.
From Cheaters surveillance cameras, you are about to view actual true stories filmed live, documenting the pain of a spouse or lover caused by infidelity. This program is both dedicated to the faithful and presented to the false-hearted to encourage their renewal of temperance and virtue.
Just like you're just trying to keep a big secret from me.
I just can't go on anymore. I need to know the truth.
I don't like being the one that has to show you this.
Oh, Jesus. I asked her about him, and she said nothing was going on.
Do you want to confront him?
Oh, yeah. Take me there.
Yeah, I got him. Hey, go.
Whoa! This is like not how this is supposed to work,
Just
John.
go with him.
I love you. I'm so sorry.
Real reality television is brought to you by Cheaters Detective Agency's Private Eyes on Cheaters.
Greetings, I'm Joey Greco. Thank you for tuning in to another installment of Cheaters. Meet David Lawrence, a hard-working gentleman who believes his wife may be losing interest in their marriage. Visibly shaken by her unusual behavior, David has Cheaters investigate his concerns.
David Lawrence, age 45, a machinist who is worried that his wife may be getting bored with their long-time relationship.
I love Sue unconditional, really. I tell her every morning, every night, and any time in between that I feel that way, I'll tell her, you know. And the little things she do for me, I tell her I love her for that, you know, thank you, and all that. I really love the girl. Living together, to me, that's already married in the eyes of God, I think. A piece of paper don't mean nothing if you're supposed to love each other and all that. It's the love, it's there, not the paper, you know. And so, to me, I feel like we was married to the eyes of God. Here, the last, say, 6 months, we probably argue more than we have the whole time we know each other. It's, things is not right at home. When I come in, I can tell. Things not right with me when I come in, she can tell. We just argue with each other, drop of a hat, you know. It's like she's picking a reason to pick an argument with me. She would go off in the car and not come back for a while, you know. Just little things that happened around the house just wasn't right. To me, it seems like something was wrong. But I couldn't understand what it was, because I know I hadn't done anything to make her mad at me at the time or anything like that, but she acted like, kind of like she was mad, you know. I would have given her anything she wanted. I thought she would do the same for me, but it seems like that changed somewhere down the road. I don't know what changed it. I would still give her what she wanted, you know.
If you suspect infidelity in your relationship, Cheaters licensed investigators may be able to provide you assistance. Exercise your right to be informed. Susan Lawrence, age 41, a tree trimmer who may be deviating from her marriage in reverence of another gentleman. Investigation Day 3. Cheaters operatives lie low at the residence David Lawrence shares with his wife. After David departs for work, suspect Susan Lawrence is observed leaving the apartment in a somewhat hasty manner. She hightails it up the street to a nearby grocery store. Minutes later, an unidentified van rumbles up, and suspect Lawrence hops in. Cheaters agents follow the van for several miles until it comes to a stop at a nearby paraphernalia store. Suspect Lawrence puts her arm around the unidentified gentleman as they make their way toward the entrance. After loading up on some essential supplies, the two are observed exiting the building. Stopping first to pick up some snacks, suspect Lawrence and her buddy are tracked to a residence detectives conclude to be that of the male companion, who appears to be quite the host. He brings out some plastic chairs for a night under the stars. A long time later, the male companion finally drives the suspect back to the residence she shares with her husband, David. Investigation Day 4. Cheater's PIs once again spot suspect Lawrence heading to the very same grocery store. As she waits for his approach, the male companion, now identified as Lester Jeffcoat, sneaks up behind her with a rose in hand. Suspect Lawrence is apparently overjoyed by the romantic offering and reciprocates the gesture in the form of a nice big hug. Within minutes, the two depart and are followed to a nearby watering hole. A long while later, the couple is observed leaving the saloon. Detectives take note of companion Jeffcoat's sexual advances towards suspect Lawrence and realize the degree to which this relationship is progressing. After a short drive, the lovebirds end up back at his place. In an odd turn of events, companion Jeffcoat displays his strength by dropping down to do a few push-ups for suspect Lawrence. After an hour or so, they pack in the chairs and head to the suspect's residence. She quickly scampers inside before David can catch wind of what's going on. Investigation Day 7. Cheater's detectives aren't surprised when they observe suspect Lawrence loitering around the supermarket once again. Within minutes, companion Jeffcoat's van arrives to pick up his date. Suspect Lawrence and companion Jeffcoat then head straight for the nearest fast food restaurant. They purchase their meals and park in a quiet location where they decide to dine in the open back of the van. Suspect Lawrence seems to conveniently forget the meaning of honesty in this recorded phone call with her husband, David.
Well, sir, will you answer the phone? I'm just not answering the phone anymore. You need to quit calling and checking on me, okay? Made me the wrong sandwich. The girl gave me the wrong meat in the deli. I'm gonna go in the morning and get the right meat, okay? I'm too tired to go back out tonight. Well, that's for you to answer when I call, Frank. You know what time I'm gonna call. I need to get some rest. I'm not gonna have you waking me up. I'm going to sleep as soon as I hang up here. I'll talk to you later, okay? Bye. Bye-bye.
Cheater's PIs now report back to David to inform him of his wife's devious behavior. Coming up, the confrontation.
With Sue's nightly exploits well documented, Cheaters meets with David to advise him of his wife's insincerity. Burdened with the doubt of what is to come, David steps forward in search of resolution. David, thanks for being here tonight. The reason that we are here is because you had some questions regarding the relationship that you have with Sue. Okay. Are you ready to take a look at that now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm gonna write it down.
As the investigation starts, a detective was stationed right outside your home, and there we see Sue. She walks to a supermarket that's very close by. She's not there very long, and a panel van comes and picks her up. Now, I assume that that was planned. After picking her up, the panel van drives to a nearby paraphernalia shop. We see her leaving and going inside with an unknown male companion. They come out, get back in the van. The detective follows them from that point to a nearby park. That doesn't need any explanation. The detective continues to follow them until they get to a residence that we at this point assume to be the residence of that man. Pull out some patio furniture, and you can kind of see what's taking place. After some time, the detective follows them. He just drops her off at your place. Now, on this day, one more time, she's at the grocery store, and it looks like someone is sneaking up behind her. It turns out that this is her male companion, and they greet each other with an embrace and a short kiss, and it looks like he's stopped off at the corner and bought a rose for her. They drive to a bar. As they're going in, clearly they're arm in arm. Obviously, after quite a bit of alcohol, they're headed out. And I know you don't want to see that, and I apologize that I have to show it to you. Once again, they head back to what we have established now as his residence. Now, I guess he's showing off that he's the alpha dog. doing some push-ups in the yard. After some time out on the patio, drinking and smoking, loads back up in the van, I guess it's a traveling show, and brings her
Go back to
home.
the store.
On this day of the investigation, just like clockwork, she's at the grocery store one more time. Van comes to pick her up. They go back to his place one more time. Here you see it, embracing, kissing, obviously intimate. They load back up, go inside.
And then all
From
same
here.
night, back-to-back nights.
And then he brings her home to your
Just
house.
before I get home.
David, and she's with him tonight.
Let's
All
get there.
right, all right.
Let's get there.
Just hang on for 1 second for me, okay? We just finished up the second. Lay it out for me. Okay. Okay, they've been at a restaurant. Okay. All right, we're headed over there now.
Let's go.
Come on. Does it make you feel like a punk that you've been working for this relationship?
It makes me feel like a dumbass, you know. You everything she wanted, you know.
Pull in right here.
Okay, there's the van.
So we get out and then walk up.
All right, come around here with me. This way. David, come here.
Slow it.
Is that them right there? Is that him right there? Okay, come on. Come on. Oh, wait, baby. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey. David. That's not what we wanted. That's not what we wanted. David, David. Come down, come down. Sue? Sue? I'm Joey Greco with Cheaters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you explain what you're doing with Lester?
No,
You can't?
no,
Why not?
because
This is 20 years of a relationship that you've had with David.
it's over.
Well, that's clear now. That's clear now. Can you offer any mitigating information as to why you've been behaving like this? Oh, get him.
All right, Dave.
This is kind of an open forum, Sue.
Come on. No.
Coming up, the conclusion.
I know.
Is there a
I've
reason
tried.
why? And Lester,
I've tried.
you've tried?
I've tried. Yeah, I've tried.
Come on.
The only question, he needs some resolution. You've acted like his
He'll get
friend.
the resolution, but what I'm saying right now, I don't need laws. Okay? Bye-bye.
You don't need law. Okay, don't. Okay,
Yeah,
no one's
if
gonna.
they show up, I'm going to jail. Bye-bye.
Okay, no one's
Hey,
gonna.
bitch. Where are you? Come here.
Well, come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Come here.
David, David, be careful. Don't hurt yourself.
Can't talk.
So that,
Yeah.
that's all.
Can't talk.
That's
to
as much as you care about this man?
him.
20 years, Sue? 20 years?
Look at him. He's a maniac. Okay.
He's a maniac, but you're sneaking around. He's a maniac, but you're
Yeah,
sneaking
he's
out
a
at
maniac.
the grocery store. Sneaking at the grocery store to meet him. You got your stuff. You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Come on, you can just sit there, so we can talk without these people, kind of. But she said it's been over for a long time.
Might be over for her. She never told me.
She didn't say anything to you about that?
No.
Tell us what you would want the people viewing to know about you as a person, David.
Well, myself, I'm a wonderful person, I think. In a relationship, they come number one, you know, automatically. Whoever she is, she's number one in my life, you know. See what that number one done to me.
And you put everything that you had into this relationship.
I put everything I had.
What you were putting into it was the glue that was holding it together.
Mm-hmm.
And now you know that.
Yep.
After the confrontation, David confesses that he doesn't know who his wife is anymore. At the end of the show, Cheaters discloses his final choices in the matter. But coming up next, Cheaters revisits Erich Dalrymple, a bartender shown previously to have difficulty keeping to just one woman. Erich stops by Cheaters to speak his mind.
Erich Dalrymple, age 30. Erich drops in on Cheaters to discuss the Marie Sullivan case and explain why he has difficulty controlling his itch to stray.
When the crew first showed up, I thought it was a SWAT team raiding the restaurant for some reason. I had no idea until I saw the lights, the cameras, and the boom mics, and then I realized somebody was in trouble, but unbeknownst to me, it was me.
Erich, my name's Tommy from the TV show Cheaters.
How could you lie to me like this? And who is she? Does she know about me?
After I left the first time and got into my car and I was driving off, I thought, okay, you know, I've done wrong, but how dare her call a Cheaters and get a bunch of film crews and lights and light me up in front of maybe friends. I don't even know who else was at the place, you know. I was trying to, you know, keep it on the down low, but I was just mortified that she would put me on a national television show that my family, my friends, my parents are gonna see. And how dare her do that when we could have settled this in private as adults.
Why are you taking her home then?
Because she's with me.
You are a dog, okay, for doing this to me.
Yeah,
okay, so you deserve.
You know what she's been through. Hey, you know what she's been through, and then you drag her through it again?
I'm sorry, dude. That's between she and I, like I said, not only.
So why don't you give her a second? If you had any balls, you would get out of this car
And talk
you
to
would
me.
deal with your situation.
And not run off with her and make it
Now,
worse.
quit being a wimp.
You turn the cameras
Quit
and lights
being a
off, and I
wimp.
will.
We'll turn them off you. You go over
it
there
right
and get
now,
on this
right
car.
now.
All right, back off. Everybody, back off. Give him some space.
Yes, I did cheat on Marie. It wasn't really the way I wanted things to go down. We'd had some problems over the last few months with communication and our work schedules being so forth and so on, the total opposite. And this girl was coming into my bar, Kristen, and I started taking a liking to her, and I really didn't want to hurt Marie, but I guess that's what ended up ultimately happening.
Did he give you any explanation?
He apologized and he says he still loves me, but he doesn't. If he doesn't love me, or he wouldn't have slept with her. He might have spent time with her, but sleeping with her, to me, that's the ultimate act of cheating, and it's over. It's done. I need to be by myself. I don't need a man to make me happy.
Well, I would like to first apologize to Marie and Kristen for putting us in the predicament that I did. You know, having a camera crew bust in front of a large restaurant type bar situation. I could have handled it a lot better, and sometimes in life we make good and bad decisions. Unfortunately, the one I made was bad. The good one would have been to talk to them in private, one-on-one, in a mature adult fashion, which I didn't do, and I do regret that part of it. I can honestly say, though, if you're thinking about doing what I did, watch yourself, because someone may be watching you too.
David Lawrence says that he's ready to make some big changes in his life. David is fed up with untrustworthy people and plans on dating women who are of a classier demographic. Despite all the pain, Mr. Lawrence affirms that he's actually relieved to know the truth and is very thankful to Cheaters for liberating him from such a villainous woman. As for her involvement, Susan Lawrence declares that David is not attentive to her needs, thereby excusing her from any liability. She claims that David works too many hours and simply ignores her when he gets home. Ms. Lawrence states that it was just a matter of time before their relationship would come to an end. However, she still admits that David will always hold a special place in her heart. Lester Jeffcoat mentions that David should have paid more attention to his wife and blames him completely for what happened. But in the same breath, he expresses thanks to David for his inattentive behavior, commenting, "If he had taken care of his wife like he should, she wouldn't have been in need of a man like me."